the 23rd of May 2003, we were told over the phone that my son had lost his life. So he was 16 years old, a bit of a sporting Billy. He'd represented the school at rugby, cross-country running. He'd been skiing over in America on a 2-week rugby tour down to South Africa as well. Loved everything to do with sport, but was also, quite academic in everything he undertook as well. We just sat his Sports AS level examination, which he passed. But he phoned us, said he'd been down in the gym and he had a headache and a little pain behind one of his eyes. So we told him to go and see the matron. He went to the matron and it was obviously just diagnosed as a headache. There was no rash and there was no other symptoms. I woke up in the morning, felt fine, went to set up an abseil because it was an open day the following day that we were travelling down to. He set up the abseil, had a shower at about 4 o'clock and was found in his room still with his towel around him at about 10 o'clock that evening. It was a further 10 days until we found out that he'd actually died of meningitis. The only thing well, probably the whole family knew was about the tumble test, the glass test on the skin if the rash is there. But otherwise, really, you kind of pay lip service. It's never going to happen to you. It's always somebody else. And when it does happen to you, you're just not prepared for it. Nothing prepares you for something as tragic as that. Well, I felt very bitter at times. After losing Gareth, you blame yourself because you weren't there. It puts an awful amount of stress and strain on the family. You argue who was to blame, why you, why wasn't it somebody else? Being a proud man, I thought I don't need any support. We can get through this. Being in the military, there's always a way around things. There's always a way to overcome stuff. And that's what I was used to, but I didn't realise the impact it'd have on me, or my family, until later down the line. I actually went down to the Meningitis Trust headquarters in Stroud because we were going to, or planned to row an ocean. We sat in there and we gave our proposal to Bridie, Tony Collier, and during the presentation, Bridie said could she have a word with me after, took me into her office and asked if I needed any assistance. And initially I said, no, not at all. I got my own way of getting through this. But the more she talked to me, the more I realised that I needed to talk to somebody to just tell my story. I thought maybe because I couldn't find a way to get over the pain I was feeling, maybe this was another avenue, maybe it was another door that was opening. And that's what I did. I took up the counselling services that they have, and it was great to go and talk to somebody who was totally impartial. And I was able to unload all my strains, all my worries on this individual for an hour and come away feeling, dare I say, cleansed. That's how I felt, and I used to look forward to going in there and telling the people how I felt, what my feelings were, how angry I was. And then when I walked away an hour later, I felt, as I say, cleansed of it for another week, and I attended 6 sessions, and I walked away a much happier person. The Meningitis Trust, they care about the individuals, and they kind of make everybody seem important, no matter what their question, how trivial it is. They always focus on the individual that's on the end of the phone or indeed in the office. So to me, they've been a lifeline really, because emotionally, you can't describe what it's like to lose a 16-year-old son.